All right, so let's get into it. I want to basically say first off that I'm doing this for free, so this is basically going to be a little more casual. I might drink a beer, a nice Wisconsin IPA. I might cuss. I don't know what's going to happen. But normally I'm doing videos behind some sort of paywall or paid from a company, so I'm way more professional. But this will be fun. It'll still be great information. I'm just kind of doing this for fun now. So let's get into it. We're going to talk about the oscillator first, the new West Coast oscillator. What am I doing here? I just have an initial patch loaded up. No sound, just a note in with an envelope and a VCA and a scope so we can see what's happening. I haven't even honestly opened up any of these pre-made ensembles that NI made yet. So I'm coming at it kind of fresh. Let's go grab the West Coast oscillator called the DWG. Now, this is going to be most comparable to like the Buchla kind of stuff that most of us can't afford. You know, basically like the 261E complex waveform generator. This is a $1,600 module. I'm sure it sounds amazing. I've never used one personally. I wish I could. But this is basically kind of mimicked off that. Very similar also to the Make Noise DPO. $600 Eurorack module. Immensely popular. Very powerful. And now we have it for free for Christmas from Native Instruments. Thank you. And let's wire it up, hear what it does. So let's get the pitch into it. You'll see multiple inputs here. Pitch, C, M. C stands for carrier, as it's clearly labeled. And then your three outputs. Output, timbre, carrier, and mod. So let's go right out from the carrier into our VCA and get sound. And right away you're going to say, this is bullshit. I can't even play a melody with this thing. That's because by default, it's set to a specific frequency. Doesn't matter what note you hit on your piano, you have to turn on key tracking in order to get like coarse tuning. Okay? And from here you can change multiple octaves, 4 octaves each way. Okay, so we can hear the sound. From there we can change the waveform from sine to triangle to saw to square. With the square you can use some pulse wave. Get some nice analogish-nish, if that's a word. And now let me also show you that there are multiple channels, multiple oscillators here, if you will. So I'm going to delete this wire. I'm going to go ahead and bring in the bento mix. Because we have multiple sections to this single oscillator, we might as well, you know, bust them out separately. So input 1 will be the carrier, input 2 will be the modulator, input 3 will be the timbre section. These all go into the VCA. Hooray. Turn up the volume. And now, maybe you didn't know, but you can just click on the number to mute anything out. So we heard the carrier. Let's go hear the mod. Again, same problem. Let's turn on the key tracking. We don't hear anything. Why not? Well, we haven't taken the note in pitch to the pitch. So our keyboard doesn't know to play pitches. And now it does. And you can see it's the same exact thing. Right? So we can go in, let's enable both these. So right away you can get a thick, fat, subtractive style analog kind of instrument. But you don't want to just limit yourself, especially with this oscillator, because you can do so much more. So let's go zero everything out, just double click, get it back to normal. Let's turn off the mod, so we're only hearing the carrier, and let's do FM, frequency modulation, which is built in. You don't have to be wiring all this crazy shit together. Just turn up the FM knob. Notice I'm using sine waves on each because that's traditional FM. And then we change the tuning, but forget this chorus nonsense. Let's hit it again and turn it into the ratio, so we're used to it. You hear that little glide? I hate it. By default, the lag, this is a cool option, but by default it turns it like, it should turn off all the way so we don't hear that if we don't want it. It's kind of like a slew to the modulation amount. So right away we can get nasty with it. Again, we're only hearing the carrier. Right there, I would just drone that up with some heavy reverb. Kill it. Kill it. All right, so let's hear the timbre section now. Let's zero everything out again so we are just playing nice. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, and what is the timbre section doing? So let's go ahead and only turn that on. There's our boring old sine wave again. Now, remember, if you don't know what anything is doing, come here to this 5th tab, I forget what it's called, and come to the info. And you don't need me to tell you, you can read for yourself. So all the way to the left, it's a sine wave. It's basically attenuated, it's not doing anything. Let's turn it up to 12 o'clock. And you get this nice spike waveform. And all the way up, it's a triangle with a spike. Right? So you can blend between this. It's basically these guys are going into this section, and this is just a wave shaper distortion kind of unit. So the symmetry is going to offset the input signal in negative or positive values. This really isn't going to do much until you increase the fold, which is the amplitude of the wave folder. And this is where you're going to get nasty. Right? Huge change in characteristics. Beautiful sound. These blue knobs are all modulators. By the way, A and B can modulate pretty much anything. Imagine the craziness you can get into, right? So throw an LFO on these suckers and get nuts. Go to town. Now from here, let's actually do what it should do and use the modulator oscillator into the carrier with some FM. Ugh. There is such a thing as too much distortion. You get the idea. The last thing to point out is that these two knobs here are inputs that you would have to patch in. So for instance, maybe you come in and grab a bento box oscillator and you do traditional FM where you're gonna patch it out into, the FM from this guy into the carrier. Let's turn off key tracking. Right? So more and more FM, use it judiciously, don't go crazy. And of course, the modulation goes both ways, from the modulator in the carrier and the carrier back to the modulator. I mean, you're just going to destroy your sound. Work with it in different ways and play with it. It's a wonderful, beautiful thing. You get so many different starting points just from this single block. And I love that you don't have to be wiring multiple things. It's all contained within one thing. Kicks ass, sounds great, a lot of fun. We'll show different sound examples with it, but at least you know what you're looking at more or less now. Okay? Salud.